What's up, fam, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for stopping by the channel. Once again, I just want to always just tell everyone thank you for, helping Hands for Ahaya, what you do to help and support with Helping Hands for Ahaya. I had some people that just donate like boxes of clothes and they mail them, and that takes a lot of money. And so I just want to thank each and every one of you who help with Helping Hands for Ahaya. Um, Check out the Instagram page. We're still getting out. You can follow us on Instagram and see, what we're up to. And you'll see the people that, whose lives that we are pouring into. So once again, thank you all so much for everything that you do for Helping Hands for Ahaya. We are a loving and caring and hospitable people. We've always been that. And we're still the same people that Christopher Columbus and them came over and saw when they got off the boat. Those people who were willing to help them learn how to farm the land and teach them how to live on the land. We're still those people. Even though, all the things that we have gone through as a people, we're still those same loving, kind people at heart. And what has happened with this world, it frowns upon being loving, being kind, helping, having sympathy, being charitable. It frowns upon that. It frowns upon being nurturing. And we all know this. We know this because someone who displays those characteristics, these are the people that get taken advantage of. But what's happening now with this earth and with Mother Earth and Holy Spirit, they are purifying and they are restoring back balance. And with that comes kindness, love, and the world calls it the divine feminine. And really, it's just those attributes of lovingness, kindness, nurturing, and seeing that displayed in men and women, because it's been something that has been swept under the rug. You get taken advantage of. But the Most High is saying, hey, no, you don't have to change who you are, right? Just don't cast your pearls on swine. You don't have to change. If you are a loving and kind person, you can be that still, but you have to be vigilant. These people who are still promoting hate, racism, um, towards people because of their color, and hating and being in competition with people, jealousy, unforgiveness. And what unforgiveness, I just always say that you can forgive people, which just means that you don't hold that resentment to them, that hate towards them. But that doesn't mean that you need to go and continue to break bread with people who hurt you. You can forgive. The same thing that we can forgive the things that have been done to us and know that it's the Most High, it's his battle. But this old mentality, this old mindset that has come along with Babylon, it's about to be wiped out. And if you are on the side of it with hate, jealousy, gossiping, stealing, about self and all those things, selfishness, you're going to be on the wrong side of this. You're going to be on the wrong side of this. The mindset that act like a lady but think like a man, no. You act like a lady and you think like a lady. This mindset that you have to dog out women and all those things, and disrespectful to women, oppressive to women, and all these mindsets, they got to go. And it's going to be purged out and balance will be restored. I did a video called The Masculine and Feminine, and being balanced is power. And we're going to see that today. So check out, I'll leave the link to the Instagram and everything down below in the description box. But I wanted to show you this. Let's take a look here. hold on, guys. So YouTube has decided to demonetize my last two videos. If you hadn't seen them, check them out. The War Against the Tree of Life and 444. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. And but what I want to show you is this. So what I said in the last video still stands, that, we're going, like the late pastor Stephen Darby used to say, science is their way of trying to explain the Most High and still refute him at the same time. And so we're going to take a look at their science. But if you really think about it, who is not really their science? We know that Abraham and them taught them different things, and they stole a lot of the records. They have, we're dealing with a system that they study the Bible, they study, our ancient records, they study the writings on the different caves that were left behind. They it's always been like they've been one step ahead, but now we are awake and the books are open, and the Most High has put a spirit on people where they have to tell the truth in some of these books. But you have to still have the Holy Spirit to help you decipher through the hijacks. So let's take a look at this thing, because they've demonetized my videos, and on my videos, I'm not spewing out hate. I'm not, going against people who decided to go get the jab. That's your business. But I still feel like people should be informed. If you're going to make a decision about your life, there should be balance of information that's out there. But that's not the case. So they're demonetizing videos. They're taking people off. And, you know, anybody can just come on and speak hate now on these channels on YouTube. They can, you know, curse bad words out their mouth. Every other word is a curse word out their mouth. I guess if I was sitting here doing videos about hair and makeup, it would be fine. When I was talking about the stars, it's fine. Certain things with that, because they know most people demonize that stuff anyway, But as soon as you start talking about this particular topic, they want to demonetize you. But you can see how the snapshot of the world, how ridiculous it is, because people can come out here and talk about all kind of foolishness. All kind of foolishness has no substance, and they don't demonetize their videos. These love and light channels, they can talk about this stuff all day and say it's the universe and this, but they don't take down their channels. They don't demonetize their videos, you see. But I'm going to show you something today. And we're going to just we know we have an outside enemy, but there's also an inside enemy that we have to work with and deal with. And the more I study this stuff, the more I know that the Most High, he gave us all we needed to get through this time. He equipped us with so much. So my hope is that after you watch this video, which will be a little lengthy, that no one walks away saying, why did the Most High allow us to go through this? Because when you watch this video, you're going to see how much he gave and how much he is still supporting and guiding us through this thing, and how much he gave us, equipped us, and made us ready to be able to be successful in the end of this biblical life, this biblical time, So that is my hope, that no one walks away saying, why did the Most High allow us to go through this? Okay, so here we go.
What if water is not how we typically see it, as just a body of liquid? What if water is far from being inanimate? What if it's actually alive and responsive to our every thought and emotion? Japanese scientist Dr. Masaru Emoto undertook extensive research of water from around the world, not so much as a scientific researcher, but more from the perspective of an original thinker.
Okay, and you guys can go and check out the doctor who he's referencing. I just decided to play this video because it's shorter, and it kind of just gives you a synopsis, but you can still go and research the doctor and get this information, because many of you already probably know about it.
He realized that it was in the frozen crystal form that water showed us its true nature. Dr. Emoto performed experiments where he would freeze distilled water and observe them under the microscope after exposing them to things like music, words, pictures, and thoughts. And the results were nothing short of remarkable. For example, here is a distilled water crystal that has not been exposed to any elements, and it looks like a plain hexagon. After Pastoral by Beethoven was played to the water, it formed a complex and delicate looking crystal like this. And for all you Beatle fans out there, here is a water crystal which looks like a flower after being exposed to John Lennon's Imagine. Also, here's what the water crystal looks like after being exposed to music from Bach and a Kawachi folk dance. Pretty gorgeous, right? But when the water is exposed to a heavy metal song, it didn't form crystals at all. It just looks coarse and dented like a rocky surface. The next one is really interesting. When water is exposed to Elvis Presley's Heartbreak Hotel, the water crystals formed in the shape of this.
Okay, so pay attention to this. He said Elvis Presley's song. This is the effect that it had on water. Okay.
It looks like a broken heart. After receiving some fascinating results from music, Dr. Emoto took the experiment to the next level by showing different written words to the water. Here's what the water crystal looks like after being shown the words thank you and love and appreciation, truth and eternal. All beautiful, especially the crystal formed from the word eternal.
See, this is why they could demonetize the videos, right? This is why they um can videos, where they're talking about the Most High and love and kindness and things like that. These videos don't get a lot of views because YouTube does not put it in the algorithm. See, right? So just pay attention. Watch.
Looks like a crystal within a crystal. But when the words shown to the water were, "You make me sick, I will kill you," and Adolf Hitler, here's how the water crystals turned out. As you can see, the crystals formed from water exposed to positive words. It's far more symmetrical and aesthetically pleasing than that with dark negative phrases. Now, in case you were wondering, the water's reaction to words was not only limited to the English language. Dr. Emoto tried this experiment using different languages, and the results were the same. Something else that was really interesting was that prayer also had an effect on water. Here's the picture of water crystals taken from the polluted Fujiwara Dam, and this is what the same water crystals look like after a Buddhist prayer. Dr. Emoto also wanted to see if pictures had any effect on water, and it did. Beautiful crystals were formed when photos of the sun, Niagara Falls, and dolphins were exposed to the water. And finally, the ultimate experiment. Can water sense our thoughts? Does human thoughts have the power to change water molecules? Dr. Emoto and his team focused positive thoughts on the water for weeks, and the water crystals turned out brilliantly. But when they focused ugly thoughts towards the water, it resulted in deformed crystals or no crystals at all. Now, as you may know, water makes up over 70% of the Earth's surface and from 50 to 70% of the human body. And if these experiments were accurate, then think about it. The water inside our bodies could possibly be affected as well by words, music, and even thoughts. For example, when you're at a dinner with your family, you feel loved. But say you're in New York City during rush hour, you may feel hate and resentment. That could be because at the most fundamental level, the water in your body is reacting to the emotional energy or thoughts around you. So basically, we have the power to transform ourselves with our thoughts. Better yet, we have the power to transform others and the whole world around us.
Okay. Did y'all hear that? See, the Buddhist prayer was able to work because of intent. Now, most people don't understand that process about intent, but the people and the powers that be, they do. See, they've studied the human body. They know they studied the human body in such a way that they know how to bring it down, right? And no one has been the wiser. But knowledge is in this earth now, and people will perish for a lack of knowledge. Knowledge is in the earth now. And the Most High said greater things that we will be able to do, right? Greater things we will be able to do. And just like with in the Wizard of Oz, At the end of the movie, they told Dorothy, you could always get back home. You could have always gotten back home. And that's still the case now, you guys. The Most High has equipped us with everything, star seeds. He has equipped us for everything, right? But we have to ascend. And don't get alarmed by that word. We have to grow spiritually. We have to grow spiritually. And with that comes the process of death, dying to self, dying to this Babylonian system. And we're going to get into that because I want to show you, your power, or part of your power today. All right. So that video, that's the first one. I'm going to show you another clip. Well, here you have water has memory. They did a lot of research on this, and you guys could check it out. I'm going to put the clip here because they don't speak in it. They just use the words, right? So you guys can check that video out when you get a chance. But this is one I wanted to show you because there's some things that have been put in place against the human body that we don't even understand, that these outside things, they change us. They change the cellular process in us. They change at a molecular level what's going on in the body. And the Most High gave us everything we needed to make it in this world. And the body can heal itself. It's fearfully and wonderfully made. But we have to know what's going on, right? So here I'm going to play a clip. It says the effects of sound on water. So basically, they did some experiments with sound and water. But then they also, this particular one, I think they use porridge or something like that. But I want you to see what happens here. Hold on. Okay, let me go back and show you. Hold on. Okay, so that's cornstarch. Now watch what happens when they turn on the music to the cornstarch. Look at that. Imagine your cells going through that in your body. You hear the music? Look at that. And you see the music has like a scary kind of undertone to it. And you see what happened. See, the point I'm trying to make is these things is happening in your body because your body is made up, most of it is made up of water, right? And your cells, most of them are made up of water as well. You see what's happening here? Okay. And this was another research with resonance. What happens to resonance with sound? Also, you guys can check that out. But remember of my videos from the past, you can go back and check the ones we did about resonance. We talked about Mother's Earth natural heartbeat rhythm is the frequency of 7.83, and it's also known as a Schumann resonance, right? We talked about that. And a 783 hertz frequency is an alpha theta brainwave frequency in the human brain, right? And it's supposed to make you relax, dreamy, sleepy state. That is also when cell generation, regeneration, and healing happens, right? And it's no surprise that people nowadays, especially in bigger cities, are unbalanced, irritated, reactive, angry, and disease are rising in astronomical numbers. We live in a time of technology with superficial wavelengths that disrupt the natural Earth's frequency. So if this stuff is happening in Earth, it's happening to the people in the Earth also with their technology. Wi-Fi, cell phones, an array of electronics are they disrupt our lives, right? And here it was saying that it has been proven by scientific experiments that running in 783 hertz, the planet's own magnetic frequency, people experience benefits like enhanced learning, memory, body rejuvenation, balance, and improved stress tolerance, anti-jet lag, anti-mind control, and grounding. Anti-mind control, guys. So all this Schumann resonance that's coming into the earth, it is here to help you. Basically, it's like, so I'm trying to tell you, like, it's like the Most High, he's doing everything possible to wake us up because he knows that the technology that they're using, he sees what we are not seeing, the stuff that they're doing, the war against the human body, right? So he like doing extra, shooting resonance into the earth, Mother Earth. They're all working together. They're all working together. and most don't really realize this. You see this Schumann resonance coming in? And the Hopis prophecy, they say that the Schumann resonance, like the ley lines, that's the angels' pathways, roadways. You guys, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we serve an awesome power. We serve an awesome power. I don't understand how people are like, the universe did this, the universe did this, and don't want to give the Most High any credit. How do you think you got here? Wow. All right. So let's go to what I want to show you guys today, right? This video will be a little lengthy, guys. I apologize. Stop it, take turn, come back and watch it, but really try to watch the entire thing because I think you will be blessed. I know I have been, I've been spending a little bit more time in nature, spending a whole lot of time at the beach. It's just peace for me, letting these locks get that, soak up this sun, you know. Most people, when we go to the doctor, they always tell us, oh, you're deficient in vitamin D. And you get vitamin D from the sun, and from the foods that you eat. And so it's good to get out in nature and connect back with nature, guys. We've lost that so much. So here I have death and activation, right? Because so many people are talking about this power that they're going to receive, but you're not going to receive this power if you don't die first. Sis, what you mean by that? Okay, let's go through this. All right, so let's do a recap. We spoke about in the last video, the laws of nature are the laws of the Most High, and I got it from the book, The Golden 7+1. The laws of nature are the laws of the Most High. And what they have done now is that they have tampered with nature just too much now. They've tampered with nature and they've set themselves on a course to destroy the world now. And that's why the Most High has to intervene. When people say, why is the Most High allowing this to happen? Do you know if the Most High did not intervene, we would all be dead by now? We would be gone. Breaking the mental, nutritional, and physical laws leads to destruction. So when you're telling people to eat pork, eat shrimps, eat all these foods that they have, that they give us, even these soul foods, you're breaking physical laws as well, right? Breaking the mental, nutritional, and physical laws leads to destruction. The Most High made this body in such a way that he told us what we needed, what we should eat to keep it going, what we should do, the things to keep it going. We've lost that, guys. And this whole system has been set up to tear it down. Because I told you, if they can keep us in the physical with ailment, sickness, with the worldly pleasures and the lust, then the spirit man can never kick in and rule. When we came into this earth, this vessel that we have, it's a passport here. It interacts with this earth. But your spirit man was supposed to always be in control, because your spirit man is what is connected to the Father, right? And your spirit man is in control. It changes the affections of the soul, right? But now what we have, we're in a world where the physical is ruling everything, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So that's violating some physical laws as well. The laws of health are the laws of peace, and the laws of sickness and death are the laws of war, guys. If you didn't see that last video, go back and watch it. We talked about the lymph vessels and how they look like tree branches, and how the best way to explain is that the branches go up into the head and the roots go down into the feet, and the tree trunk is the chest lymphatic tree. That's what we call it. Here it is here, right? And we also talked about the Essene tree of life. And if you haven't read the Essene book, check it out, right? Because it will help you understand this. And the angels, right? The different angels, the heavenly angels and the earthly angels, right? And then we talked about that the tree system out in Utah, about us being one body, one spirit, one mind, and how they show you this in the movies like Avatar, the assault on the tree of souls, and how they were all praying, how prayer, and I'm going to get into that because they're showing you these things, guys. So which tree are you eating from? So here we had the basic formula of for life and death, and you had the two trees, the tree of life and the tree of death, and then here the forces, right? You have good, love, peace, health, life. And on the other hand, here you have evil, hate, war, sickness, death. This is the tree of death, right? And we showed how these things here, like being good, love, kindness, health, how it affects the body and your cells, right? And cell damage. And we know the cells are electric, right? And you have trapped proteins when the body is in hate, when it's not in, when it's under stress, right? It throws the cells, it throws everything out of sync in the body, right? Right? And the mental, love, bless, do good, desire to do good, give, right? That's the tree of life, right? And mental with the tree of death is shock, stress, anger, fear, loss, temper, holding grudges, resentment, and greed. This is Babylon right here, guys. This is Babylon. This is everything that Babylon consists of. And everything that Babylon consists of is what is tearing down the human body. And when you tear down the human body, the spirit and the soul is in the human body. The body is just a protector of the soul and the spirit, guys. Let's dive in. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. So let's take a look at Muse. I was studying this, a Muse, right? Because he showed you earlier that, music, thoughts, words, it affects water, right? And most of our body is made up of water, right? Our cells, they're made up of water as well, right? So keep that in mind, the video where he showed you about prayer and music and words, how it affects, and even intent of thought, how it affects water. And now you know that your body is made up of these things. So I was studying the word muse, which is the base word for music. And so it says to reflect, ponder, meditate, to be absorbed in thought, also meaning to loiter or waste time. So that's a muse, to reflect, ponder, meditate, to be absorbed in thought. That's the verb. Now let's look at the noun. From Old French, muse, and directly from Latin musa, from Greek musa, musa, the muse, also music, song, ultimately from pi to think, meaning and inspiring. Music should be meaning, inspiring. Let one reflect, ponder, meditate, be absorbed in thought. But it also can be wasting time, right? So then they have, of course, their 9 muses of classical mythology, the gods and stuff and what they're over, poetry, what is it? Tragedy, hymns, comedy, astronomy, all the things that, basically, if you look at this, it's all the targets that Babylon has to keep us occupied and entertained. But I wanted to show you that about Muse. So let's go here. And we know that music does have a healing power. It helps improve sleep, calm rage, improve your mental game, and reduce medical anxiety, right? So these are some of the benefits of music, right? It should be. And the Bible even talks about music, right? But ye are holy, you who inhabit the praises of Israel. Right? So when you're praising the Most High, He inhabits the praise of His people. And as He that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and as vinegar upon nitrous, so is He that singeth songs to an heavy spirit. That's Proverbs 25:20. So you see here, you have a heavy spirit. When you sing, it could get rid of that heavy spirit, right? Therefore, the redeemed of the Lord shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. That's from singing. Isaiah 51:11. Ephesians 5:19. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. And it came to pass when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. 1 Samuel 1:23. So you see here that music is supposed to connect us more with our Father, right? And it does have an effect on the body, and I'm going to show you that today. Even more so, you see what it does with water, and we know our body is made up of water. And you see, he was saying about the harp. Most of these like instruments that they have, like the piano, the harp, the flute, the shofar, like these instruments, I told you, our body, your cells, your bones, they resonate with the musical note, right? And when you play this music, now you see what it does to water. So what is it doing to your bones and your cells also, which are made up of, the cells are made up of water, right? And if you notice now that the music of today now, it's all sampled from back in the day. They have sample music. Even how they arrange the music, it's like fussy. It's basically to dumb you down, the music of today. And it's they're using electric music now, right? You don't hear like the instruments anymore. And there's a reason for that. And they change the hertz of the music. And there's a reason for that, guys. There's a reason. But the Most High gave us something to help us. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. He told us what can help with a heavy heart. And you saw an experiment there. They're speaking bad words, hate, all those things, what it does to water. And this is going on inside of you. I even showed you in a video a while ago with the planets, how they make certain geometrical shapes, and they know when to go to war off of certain shapes or things that the planets make. See, we're all connected, guys. Those same geometric shapes that the planets make, those same things happen internally with us also. Let everything that hath breath praise the Most High. We praise and singing and worship create the environment for healing and blessings. Your body was created to praise the Most High. And when you are in alignment, these angels, they help in the healing, they minister to you. They help you grow spiritually. And they heal the physical body. All right, let's cut to the chase. So you have a cell here, and I thought this was really interesting, guys. You have a cell. It's called the Muse Cell, which I thought was really interesting, seeing how we just talked about music, right? And that name is Muse. But this one is multi-lineage differentiating stress enduring cell. That's what this one is. But they call it Muse. So it's a non-cancerous stem cell. All right, stem cell, and also known as a stress enduring reparative cell. That's what this cell is. It's a reparative cell. And it's so interesting about this cell. So it's a stem cell, and it's a repairing, stress enduring reparative cell. Now, this is the Muse cell right here. The Muse reside in the connective tissue of nearly every organ, including umbilical cord, bone marrow, and the peripheral blood. And this is the cell that they like to use for stem cell research. And you know what they do with the stem cell. They're cloning, right? But this is the cell that they like to use. It's called the Muse, right? Let's talk about it. In cell biology, it refers to a stem cell that has the potential to differentiate into any of the three germ layers: your endoderm, which is your stomach lining, your gastro tract, the lungs; mesoderm, which is your muscle, bone, blood; and your ectoderm, which is your epidermal tissue, your nervous system. So this cell, you can find this cell in all of those areas, right? And here you see it here: circulatory system, nervous system, immune system. So basically, let's go here. Let's look at the characteristics before I explain the other process, because this is really interesting, guys. That's why I told you the Most High has equipped us with everything. The body can heal itself, right? If they stop messing with it. So it's stress tolerant. It does not show tumor genicity, tumor genicity, I think. Sorry guys if I said that wrong. Producing or tending to produce tumors. So it doesn't it doesn't have a tendency to get tumors or produce tumors. It has the ability to self-renew. So if it gets damaged, it can renew itself, right? Resistant to genotoxic stress due to efficient sensing of DNA damage and activation of DNA repair system. So it helps in repairing the DNA, right? If it senses anything that's going on, any stress, right, from DNA damage, it can repair it. Do you hear that? It can repair it. Think of this cell as the backup cell. It's a genotoxin is a chemical or agent that can cause DNA or chromosomal damage. Such damage in a germ cell has the potential to cause heritable altered traits like mutations. DNA damage in a somatic cell may result in somatic mutation, which leads to cancer. This cell can come in and help repair that. It's a well-known human embryonic stem cell marker. So this is the cell that they like to use in stem cell research because of all the characteristics that I just listed. But let's look a little deeper. The Muse cell, which is a stem cell, it have the unique ability to turn into many different types of cells. So it can be whatever the body needs, whatever cell the body needs it to be, is basically what that cell is. So it can turn into types of cells like a muscle cell, a tendon cell, or a cartilage cell. This process is called differentiation. Stem cells also function as part of repair systems that maintains and replenishes cells throughout your entire life. That's why they use this one. So here, this is your neuronal cells. So if you're having a problem here the nerve with your in the nervous system, the cells there are damaged, and we talked about how those cells can be damaged by the different radiation, the foods, the things that they're got going on and spraying and all those things, the attack on the nervous system, the brain. This cell can come in and turn into a neuron, one of those cells, and actually help repair. So if you look here, the kidneys, the muscle damage, liver, this cell can go into all those areas, differentiate, and be the backup for those cells that were damaged. Look at this. That's why I say, you guys, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. It is a stress enduring cell. This is its function. Talk about the Most High had foreseeability, knowing that they were going to be doing these things, and He created your body in such a way that it has a backup cells to come in and rescue. Whew. Take a look at this, guys. Look. Muse cells have the ability to turn into many other cells. Now let's take a look at the cells that they turn into, guys. Melanocytes. Where have you heard that before? This is specialized skin cell that produces the protective skin darkening pigment called melanin. Melanocytes, if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize, produce and store melanin. Melanin pigments protect the skin from DNA damage by surrounding and thus guarding the nuclei of the keratinocytes. That's what this cell can turn into. Help produce melanin. What was they doing at Tuskegee, you guys? With the Tuskegee experiments? What were they doing? Oh my goodness. See what this cell does? And then you have the keratin sites, with your hair and your nails. So basically, guys, you can kind of, if you're seeing, like, you can kind of give yourself a prognosis based off of this, because like if you're having like your hair isn't growing or your nails, then you know where your cell damage is. Because keratin, we know, helps to form the tissues of the hair, nails, and the outer layer of the skin. It toughens nails and bony structures, coats and repairs damaged hair, and makes it less likely to break. So if your hair is breaking off, not growing, then you have there's some nerve damage, there's some cell damage right here. And that Muse cell turns into this to help the body, to help those damaged cells in that area repair them. See? Here are the neuronal cells. They send and receive signals from your brain. While neurons have a lot in common with other types of cells, they structurally and functionally, they're unique. Specialized projections called axons allow neurons to transmit electrical and chemical signals to other cells. See? So that cell turns into this also to help. The body sends out a stress signal, and that cell goes right there and differentiates, separates to many other cells to help the body in that area. And we talked about the cells when they can't move and they can't transport, how they try to block that also with the medications, with the radiation, and even with this thing that they're putting into the body right now. Liver cells, that breaks down fat and produce energy. And when you're eating food, guys, food is supposed to be energy. So if you eat and you're tired right after, that means the food that you ate didn't give you the energy that it was supposed to give the body. We call it itis. My family, we call it urban fatigue. Food isn't, you're not supposed to be tired after food. The liver cells, they break down the fats. Alcohol and hepatitis are common uses of cirrhosis. That's the loss of liver cells. When you have like alcohol helps that, the loss of your liver cells, and hepatitis B and C. And you hear a lot about hepatitis B and C. Then you have the one with the kidneys. That regulates and filters minerals from blood. It filters waste materials from food, medications, and toxic substance, creating hormones that can help produce red blood cells, promote bone health, and regulate blood pressure. You see so many people getting dialysis. See, when you mess with the cells, it's cell damage. And I showed you the things that mess with the cells. Medications, toxic substances, these things that they're spraying in the air, food. But you got a backup plan, backup cells that help in these areas. And that's why they try to take this cell to use it for stem cell research. So they can clone. They say they're using it to help people. But if you left the body alone and stop spraying all this stuff in the air, stop with the pharmakia, the cardiac cell muscles, the contracting cells that allow the heart to pump. So this Muse cell can turn into all of these guys. And then you have here the ones that help with the specialized for the storage of energy in the form of triglycerides. And it's showing you here that fat cells also play a critical role in sensing and responding to changes in systematic energy balance. And then you have the one with the bones, osteocytes, respond to the mechanical strain and to send signals of bone formation or bone respiration to the bone surface. So this cell is a big deal, and it's called the Muse cell. It's a stress-enduring cell. Here I have a picture of healthy melanocytes, right? These are the ones that help produce melanin. So here you have the melanocyte here. And you have the keratin sites, because the keratin, that helps with the nails and the hair. That all plays into melanin also, guys. And then you have the unhealthy ones here. See? What neurons are responsible for consciousness? Because we know water has memory. Your cells are made up of water. The reticular activating system is the part of the brain system that is responsible for wakefulness. Now you see why it's so much with the brain. The Department of Defense is giving away so much money now for research into the brain. This is the part of the brain stem that is responsible for wakefulness. This is a collection of neurons located in the upper brain stem that projects to and stimulates the areas of the cortex that is responsible for awareness, the ability to think and perceive. Nerve damage can cause mental problems. See? When you listen to all that music, the music can affect the way you think. It can affect the cellular process in your body. They're actually dumbing people down. They don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to move into power, which is when the spirit is in control. The spirit man is in control. And one thing about the spirit man, when it gets into control, guess what happens? Because that's a frequency. When the spirit man is in control, that's a frequency. And you know what happens there? When the spirit man kicks in, anything that or anyone that was just catering to your flesh, which is a low vibration, they start dwindling off. You don't see them. They start just, you wonder, like, where did everybody go? The spirit man blocks it. Light and darkness cannot mix. The spirit man kicks in. You get a new heart, new mind, renewing of the mind. You can't have the same conversations that you were having. You can't talk to the same people. There's nothing for you to talk about with them. You're elevating, you're ascending, you're growing. Like they said about Yeshaya, he grew in stature and found favor with man and the Most High. It wasn't just talking about his physical, it was talking about him growing spiritually. And this is where we should be. We should be always growing spiritually. And when you grow spiritually, your mindset shifts. See, this is where the power starts coming in, guys. Several of these symptoms are associated with the mental health conditions, including depression and anxiety disorders. Numbness and tingling can be signs of nerve damage. So when you have nerve damage, that's when you see the symptoms of what? Mental health conditions. Mental health is big now. Nerve damage. The music, their fake lights, the radiation, technology is killing man. It's killing man. It's killing life. Another nerve damage. We talked about these autoimmune diseases like lupus is one. Headaches, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's disease, and dementia. It messes with the mind, the mind and ability to make decisions. The elderly always come down with this towards the end. I think it has a lot to do with the medications in the water, the stuff that they put in the water. This is my opinion. Exposure to music alters cells, their motility, right? And here's some links here to some research that you guys can go in and do about how the certain music, how it causes cell damage, and then certain music that actually heals it. The battle is for the soul, guys. The battle is for the soul. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. See, a lot of people, when they hear this verse, they're always just thinking about like a physical death, right? But I'm talking about the death where we die to self. We die to this Babylonian system, these worldly, this lust, pride, ego. These are what I told you in the last video, the little foxes, the things that we have to die to so this spirit man can kick back in. The spirit wants peace and love. See, these are the outside things that we talk about in our videos that are against us. But see, we play a role in this. And it's by the renewing of our mind, us dying to Babylon, to this system and the way they do things, the belief systems that we have been taught. We have to die to that. And that's where the power comes in. I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. Now, don't get hung up on that word cross. Right here, you got to die to self daily. We have to die to self daily, y'all. There are times when we got to guard our mouth, guard the things that we say and think. That's the biggest thing, the thoughts. The little foxes in us that we see. We have to go inside and look at that. Are we in competition with people? What's our intent when we do things? You cannot hide before the Most High. He does not look at the outside. He looks at the inside. Who are you when no one is around? Are you disloyal? Are you gossiping? Are you promoting yourself instead of the Most High? Who are you? Are you operating from your heart, which is supposed to be pure, kind, loving? See, when you move to this place, when you become this new creature in creature, you cannot function with the old mindsets of hate, racism. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. This is a daily thing, guys, and it's not easy. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, things become new. Some of it, you got to walk away from family members, guys. That's just where it is. And you got to do the work. Old mentalities, old theologies that have nothing to do with the Most High. Sometimes your teachers will change. And this presentation is really not that I'm teaching you, I'm reminding you, because water has memory. This is me reminding you. I don't need to teach you, I'm reminding you that you could always get back home. You could always get back to the Father. He gave you everything you needed. Sing when to lift your spirits. Praise and worship. Our people always praised and worshiped. Played the drums. Played the music. We're a soulful people. And then they came and gave us their soul music and their soul food, which has nothing to do with us ascending and growing spiritually. Nothing to do with it. We're at the end of the biblical Bible, you guys. We're at the end. And we are transforming even now, you guys. Even now. Right now, we're going from glory to glory right now. The more you grow, the more you adore the Most High, you worship Him, you're changing. You're changing. That's hard for some to understand. That's hard. That's hard for most to understand, guys. I'll read this text to you. And it says here, but some men will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die. And that which thou sowest not. That body shall be, but bear grain, it may chance of wheat or some other grain. So basically it's saying here that what you put in the ground, at first it's like a little seed. When it grows, it's not, it bears no resemblance to that seed. You may have like a nice big tall plant, a flower. It doesn't look like what it puts in the ground. But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body. Every seed his own body. And all flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another of beasts, and another of fish, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies, terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. So even right now, we have a certain amount of power. Even right now. And that's the thing, guys. They don't want you to understand this power that you already have right now. There is one glory of the sun, and one glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory. And we know that the stars, they have different magnitudes of light. So right now, when we are dedicating ourselves to understanding the Most High, to follow him, to love, to be kind, to give, we're actually starting that process of moving from glory to glory. And when it's all said and done, some of us will have lighter lights. We'll have higher lights, more magnitude of lights. It's about that dedication. And I was reading from 1 Corinthians 15, verse 35 through 42. And now I'm reading from 2 Corinthians 3, verse 17 through 18. Now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory. We are changed into an image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord. So where the Spirit is, there's liberty. And when there's liberty, there's change. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. I hope I was able to explain this the way it was shown to me. We have to die to self. At the end of the day, we have to die. We have to die to Babylon. And the spirit man has to be back in control, not the flesh. Thank you all for stopping by the channel. Shalom.